I kind of wonder, and this is a random point, I don't even know if this is the point you were making, but who's to say that Biggie or Pac would have long sustained careers like Jay-Z?
Ooh. That's because, you know, I remember there was somebody that said, when was Jay-Z the hottest? And other than Hard Knock Life, he was never the highest selling person, even on Def Jam. Ja Rule and DMX were consistently outselling him, but it just got to a point where like Jay-Z was just the most consistent, you know, and that's very rare. As much as we love Big and we'd love to think, oh yeah, he'd still be that guy if he was around in 2004. Who knows?
Lone, that is a very good question, because it's one thing to be trending a certain direction, but it's not guaranteed that you'll stay that hot.
Would Pun have fallen off?
Pun is another one. Big L.
Would Big L ever have merged like the way everybody at his Super Underground says that he would have? Would he have?
He was going to be on Roc-A-Fella.
Yeah.
Like
I saw
2 or 3 days before he died.
That's
they were
crazy.
going to have a party.
After he died, he was supposed to have a party, essentially being introduced as a Roc-A-Fella artist.
Which would have been history all.
Now him, Jay-Z, and Big L together would have been a problem.
That would have been a problem. Agreed.
But how long would it have been a problem? You know,
I mean, but Lone makes a good point, because it's not guaranteed.
Remember when everybody was signing to The Rock after, you know,
The Rock was a problem.
Like, but remember I remember how excited I was for the Def Squad album. You know,
on paper they were a problem, but it just didn't.
Full Cooperation is still my joint, but
yeah,
you know, the album came and went, and we never got another Def Squad album.
Lone, as you speak to Roc-A-Fella, you know, we lived the Roc-A-Fella era,
right?
So their window at their apex, you know, it was crazy. But the actual window, I don't think the window is as big as we make it seem sometimes.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Because, I mean, they even went back when they, you know, like they signed Cameron and all this stuff. And
Kanye, because they kind of transitioned from like.
But
Dipset.
Yeah.
But Cameron's an icon. Don't get it twisted. But like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that.
No, I mean, it's just like.
I feel you, though, because I just don't think the window is as big as when we tell the stories about, man, y'all remember the Roc-A-Fella era. I don't think the window is as big, but when it was popping, it was potent.
It's like 2 or 3 years, maybe
Yeah,
4.
Cam
About 4 good years,
Koch, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, because you think the ape, like, what would we say was the apex of the Rock? I'm talking about where it was they couldn't miss.
Jay, Beanie, Siegel,
Freeway.
I would honestly, I would say from like say 2000 to 2003.
You think that's
So
when
that
it was
it. That's
somewhere
when
in there.
State Property. That's when they had, you know,
I would go as far as to
maybe
04.
04. Yeah.
So the Black Album was
03.
Okay, and then what am I missing?
Benny was dropping albums.
Okay,
And Kanye West came out with College Dropout.
College Dropout. I think that might
Young
be.
Guns had a couple
That's
joints.
I think that might be
State Property. Yeah, so I mean, it was a movie,
And they were dropping movies and stuff.
but when it was over, it was over.
Yeah. It's a good point, Long. We
I
don't
heard
know,
that,
but that's a very good point to bring up.
I actually heard that Benny Siegel's "Feel It in the Air" was about the breakup of Roc-A-Fella, and then when I heard and went back and listened to it, I was like, that kind of it's like he alludes to something that's going on here.
I got to go listen to that now because I've never heard that.
Yeah, listen to it.
I've never heard that.
That's actually a pretty dope song. Heavy D produced that.
Yeah.
Just think about any artist who was at the top, and you're like, oh man, this is going. It never lasts forever. It very rarely. You know, that's what makes Jay-Z such an anomaly as far as the game is concerned. That's what makes, and they just happen to be married to that. That's what makes Beyonce such a complete anomaly. It's like Beyonce's been famous at this point for 25 years. You know, there's really no, Diana Ross ain't had no run like this.
Nah. Then they'll sit there and tell you that if if Aaliyah hadn't passed away, then Beyonce wouldn't be who she is. Why wouldn't she be?
Yeah, because Beyonce was on. She was going to be here regardless. Because
same with the Jay-Z and Biggie conversation.
Yeah.
It's like, if anything, Jay-Z might have been bigger because they was about to do an album together.
Yeah,
and that that whole competition and steel sharpening steel. You just never know.
Pun is the one I would be curious to see how that was going to go. based off what Capital Punishment and him with Fat Joe and who Fat Joe eventually became. He had a run. Pun I would love to have seen what Pun would have done with 2 or 3 more albums. You know what I'm saying? Because he was lyrically, he was ridiculous and could still make records. In
my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baby wasn't that good. Personally.
I like the singles, but the rest of the joints on there just wasn't it. But I don't know how much of that was completed before he died.
Right.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, we'll never know, but everything ain't promised. We've seen a lot of artists fall out the sky. I'm talking about shoot up and come right back down.
Yeah, you never know. The actual third Biggie, say he puts out Born Again when he's alive.
Right.
And it comes along and at the same time DMX comes out and DMX wiped everything off the board. He reset the game.